Okay, so I am not sure if I lost everybody or it's able to continue streaming. So we're just going to have to see what happens here, and I apologize if I lost everybody, but if I lost everybody, they wouldn't be able to hear me on this. Well, we're back up, but I lost everybody. I hate that. We'll see if anybody rejoins. Shoot.
Clear of the pits, hammer down.
And I apologize to anybody who's rejoining, and I'll probably say this as I see people jump back in. The internet wasn't working properly or something. I had to end the stream and restart, so I really apologize. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I think this is one of those things where I'm going to just have to get the bugs worked out here and kind of see if I can get this thing figured out as I go on a little bit longer, and maybe get things ironed out a little bit better. So these first few that I do may be a little bit rough. But for anybody who's tuning back in, thank you. And for anybody that I lost, I apologize. I hate that I lost you guys. Okay, now this is the wobble I'm talking about with that stiff sway bar. I'll run it again through that corner so you can kind of see it if you missed it. But I've also adjusted the bump and rebound settings, so it seems like you go lower. There you can see it. See the car wobbling, I hope. Okay, so Simoleon says it looks better. But I've got what I did that's created that wobble is I adjusted the bump and rebound settings. So going down on these front bump and rebound settings can cause that wobble, especially if you've got a stiff front sway bar. So I'm going to go back up on them to try to get rid of that. And I will tell you guys, I'm going to run this till probably about 9:15 or 9:20, and then I'm probably going to have to end it. Hopefully we get something pretty workable by then, but if not, maybe I'll pick it up some other time. I think we're pretty close because I've got into the 6s, and I feel like this is a real, sometimes you can just tell when you're driving something, you're like, oh yeah, this is going to work long run, or you say, oh, I can already tell it's going to get loose at the end of a run. This feels like the type of thing that would be solid the whole way through. Okay, this gearing, I'm stuck on gearing because now I'm noticing I'm only hitting like 187 at the end of the straightaways, at the end of the front straight, which tells me I'm leaving some speed on the table. There we hit 188. Okay, so let's try something here. The default gearing was a 360. Maybe I'm off base by going with something in the 340 to 350 range. Let's try this and see what happens. I'm afraid I'm either going to be on the chip or I'm either going to be on the chip or something at the end of the straightaways and not be able to maximize my straightaway speed. But let's just try it. And again, I believe sometimes in taking a big swing at it so that you know when you've gone too far. Okay, so I adjusted those bump and rebound settings. Notice that wobble is completely gone. Yeah, I've swung this thing too far with that gearing, so that's not going to work. Let's back it off to a 350 and see what we get.
All right now, dig.
I'm still running a 355, and I am really starting to think that 350 gear was really kind of where I wanted to be. That was probably about right. But again, you usually have to take something too far to really know where is just right. What to do. Let's see, I think I want to look at I want to look at my right rear bump, or Sorry, right rear rebound. Let's take it up a little bit. That'll help me turn in a little bit. And we've adjusted the cambers. This thing should turn a little bit better. It's going to be a little bit looser, and let's see what we got here.
You're clear of pit road.
I feel like I need to turn in a little better, but I also think it's to some degree driver error more than setup. Seems like you have to start the turn really, really early going into turn one, and maybe I'm just not turning it in good enough as a driver.
Keep hitting your mark.
There's a 589. I'm getting real close to that personal record here. Closing in on a little bit better every lap. Let's see if I can pull it off here. If I'm gonna... Oh, I'm running out of tires. This isn't gonna work. I'm worried I have pushed that camber too high. All right. Let's try backing out here. I want to back out because I'm down to 5 minutes in test session, and I want to try to run this on a long run, and I can't do that in 5 minutes. Optic Goblin! Stevie Throop, good to hear from you, buddy. Anybody who's watching, congratulate Mr. Stevie Throop, Optic Goblin, who graduated from the University of Florida this week with a degree in microbiology and is, I think, going to be heading to medical school next. So I got to call him Optic Goblin or Stevie Throop while I can before he's going to be Dr. Throop. Okay, so I want to back off this camber a little bit. That tire was cooking. Okay. See if I can get myself back here into the 5s again and test this on a long run and see what we got. Didn't quite hit everything right on those on 3 and 4. Felt good about 1 and 2. Did not feel good about 3 and 4. 5:05! That is a new personal record. That's what I was looking for. Now, let's run this thing out, see if I can get a fuel run out of it without it getting sideways on me. And if I can, that is going to be my Kentucky setup. My goal is to come up with something that would beat my personal record and would be really strong on a long run. So we beat the personal record. Let's see if we can make it last on a long run here. Tire wear doesn't look bad. It might be a sign I'm gonna get loose because that tire wear is pretty even. Usually when you see that right rear burning off quicker, that's a telltale sign that you're going to be getting loose. Or if you see the right front burning and then all of a sudden the right rear starts catching up to it, that's when you know you're going to have cars start getting loose on you. So far they're looking pretty good. Temps are about the same on both tires. And I see I've got a couple more comments here, but I can't really respond. Is that Shane? Hey, somebody from Kentucky, my home track. Hey, Kentucky's not too far from me. I'm in West Virginia. I think I can be in Lexington in about 4 hours, if I'm not mistaken. I am right on the West Virginia-Ohio border. So I'm not too far from you, Mr. Shane from Kentucky. So if Optic Goblin is still tuned in here, Optic, I have got big problems running F1 at Monaco. Zach's running 115s, I'm running a 122. Okay, so I'm probably going to click 7 laps of fuel here going somewhere around turn 1 and 2. That's going to put me halfway through this fuel run. Okay, usually if a car is going to get loose on you, it's starting to give you a little bit of an indicator by the halfway mark. So I'm 7 laps in. I really overdrove that corner. Came off of it okay. So I'm 7 laps to go on the fuel run. Not showing signs of getting loose. I am a little concerned that I am 7 laps to go and I am just at about 50% on the tires. So halfway through the run and halfway through the tires means I'm probably going to be in single digits on the tire wear by the time I am done with this, which to some degree with that, an inch is as good as a mile. If I can get it there and use up all the rubber without blowing a tire, then that's great. I think maybe I should lift a little bit earlier going into 1 and 2 and I'd do a little better, but here we are, 5 laps to go. Not really loose, and as much as I'd like to say it doesn't get loose, if it gets just a little bit loose but it's still pretty drivable, that's kind of okay, especially if it's down to the last couple of laps. Sometimes tightening it up for that last couple of laps kills you in all the earlier laps. But let's see what we got here. Four to go, still feeling okay. Alright, so I get through this and we're still in pretty good shape at the end of this. I am probably going to end the stream, but I want to thank everybody who tuned in. Apologize for the problems earlier where I had to restart it. I don't know how many of you were able to rejoin or if I just lost everybody, but this is only the second time I've done this, so I'm kind of working out the kinks a little bit. Okay, now that was big right there, because you go down below that crease with old tires, that's a recipe for spinning out, and it got just a little bit loose. So if I made that big of a mistake and it was only a little bit loose, that's a really good sign. So from mid-corner on, I am matting it. I'm mashing the gas, and I'm almost trying to see if it'll get loose. Like I drove down there intentionally below the yellow line there because I wanted to try to see if it would get loose. I'm kind of pushing the car a little bit here to see if it will get loose on the long run. I'm trying to put it in positions where it would get loose. You can get loose by overdriving the corner. You can get loose by not running the appropriate line. And I have like 2 laps there, one intentionally, one by accident, put the car in a bad position, and it didn't really get loose. Once it got a little bit loose, but that's because I really messed up. The second time it didn't really offer to get loose. So I'm going to hit 0 laps here going in here. I'm going to call this my new Kentucky setup. And I will go to the garage here before the end of the stream so everybody can take a look at it. But of course it will be available on YouTube, so you can always look it up. There we are. Man, look at this. 16% on both tires. You can't get any more even than that. We're at 0% or 0 estimated fuel. You know, for a long run setup, I'm pretty happy with it. Let me check something here real quick. Let's go look at the lap times. So, the 766 there I really messed up. The 600 is where I was trying to make it loose, I think, by intentionally going down there. But usually at 1.5 miles, if you have a fall off from your best time to the end of the run of 0.8 of a second, that's about normal. If you're falling off more than that, you probably need to look at the setup because you're losing a lot of speed at the end. But 0.8 of a second is about what I would expect to have a fall off. And then at the end, I was running 4s and 5s for the most part. A couple there. Second fall off, I'm okay with that, and it was extremely comfortable to drive at the end. It wasn't showing signs of getting loose at all. So let's go to the garage here so everybody can see this. So I can end the stream with showing this. This is my new Kentucky setup, and this is, just to kind of do a quick review, this is a different setup philosophy that I am trying that centers around a couple of things. The big things it centers around is I run the stiffest sway bar that I can without the car wobbling uncontrollably in the corner. I max out the track bars if I can. This is something that's making it tight by going up here is making it looser. So I've kind of got those two things kind of offsetting each other. I'm running a really low wheel lock, which tends to make it tighter. But those 3 things kind of work together, are the big things that I'm trying as kind of a different setup philosophy, and it seems to be working pretty well on most tracks. The other thing's a little bit different is I'm running the rear springs the same. I used to always run that left spring about 100 pounds softer at the 1.5 miles. I'm running them the same, which seems to be working. And again, these are all pieces to the puzzle. You change one piece, another piece may not fit very well, and you have to change that piece. So it's kind of like putting all the pieces together. And the final thing is running a lot more wedge and a lot more front weight, which again, most of these things are tightening up the car. Like the wedge tightens up the car, the stiffer left rear spring tightens up the car, the stiffer sway bar tightens up the car, and the lower wheel lock tightens up the car. but that's all offset by the fact that the track bars are up so high that I've got them maxed out, but kind of the pieces kind of fit together, and it's coming up with some setups that are a little bit faster than what I had before and really do, I think, better on the long run. So that's what I got. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it. Hey, V is back in. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to try to do this like every Tuesday at 8 o'clock and kind of see how it goes, see if people are interested, see if people tune in, and we'll go from there and see if it's something that catches on or not. But thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it, and I'm going to end the stream. Thank you guys so much for the support. Hope you all have a great day. Hope you run lots of fast laps with this, and I will see you next Tuesday. And I really got to say, I appreciate the comments. Comments are so great to see everybody tuning in. The helpful stuff, like when Simoleons tells me my stream is lagging, I had no idea. So I'm glad I was able to correct that with his advice. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will catch you all next Tuesday.